Well, he's our today's Q reporter, but now he joins me in studio wearing another hat. This is author Donald Dehaney. Welcome, Donald.
Thanks for having me.
We finally get to meet you.
Finally?
You're in studio with us.
Yes, you look great in person.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, you have written a book, and this is your book. So you're also an author, reporter for us, and an author on your own time.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. This is my second edition. I revamped it, added some information.
Okay.
It's my autobiography.
Uh-huh. Now, being a gay writer, do you think that you really connect with the gay community? How do you influence the gay community with your writing?
Well, that's interesting. I asked a heterosexual writer on the weekend who works for the Free Press, do you feel that you're part of the heterosexual community? And he said, no. And the truth is that the gay community isn't like the Italian community, isn't like those communities. We don't have one place where we all go. If you lowball the percentage of gays in London, it's like between 10 and 15,000. Yeah. And we all don't go to one place. I mean, so we're like everybody. We're today's Londoner. Yeah. We're like all kinds of different kinds of people. So
you just mixed all in.
That's right. So I don't feel a part of a community. I just represent myself. So when I write about gay issues, I just represent Donald. Okay.
How has the community responded in general? The community responded in general to your book.
Well, I got a story. Well, about my first writing when I wrote my first gay article for the Free Press. A family relative said, "You're not going to write that. They're gonna know you're one of them. They're homosexuals, eh?" And actually, she was right, because with my second article, I was excommunicated from my church, which was just a shocking kind of experience. And what I wrote about was a comical piece, comparing my friend who wasn't into gay pride and I was, just comparing our two different points of view. And I hadn't even been to a gay pride in London. Really? I was writing about it, and I got booted out of my church for that. So quite a reaction. But since then, I would say that the heterosexual community has been wonderfully responding to my writing. Right. It's been a great response.
Do you find that you're labeled a lot now that you've kind of publicly said, "I'm gay, and here's my writing, and here's my book, and comment on this"?
No kidding. I mean, I go to the bank, and a teller goes, "How was Pride?" And they always assume that if you're one person representing, if you write on, that you represent all the gay community, and you know all the new stuff on the gay community, and I don't, and I don't pretend to. Right.
Now, you haven't just wrote a book. You used to be the publisher of Q magazine that was out for a little while.
Right.
So how was your experience doing that?
It was an amazing experience. Yeah. And our last issue was our most successful. It was a very successful magazine. I would say that, like my book, I end with a cliffhanger. So I am actually now living part two of my memoirs. And Q will make an interesting chapter in my book, I'm sure. I'll say that.
So, because your book is not fiction.
No.
This is fact, and this book is all about you. And you really write it in a way that it's very conversational. People understand it, it's very easy to follow, and it's enjoyable to read.
Thank you.
So, is it hard to get all the facts together and get everything straight? And do you offend people at all when you write about your life and include others in there?
Good question. Yeah. What I do is I have a lawyer go through everything I ever do, and I make sure that it's totally factual. In fact, I change the names, because the point of the book isn't to revenge or point fingers. It's to tell a story. The story is the point, and by doing that, you universalize the story. But I should say that I think that more writers should check their facts, because something was written about me, mentioning me recently, never called me to check the facts, and so when someone read to me what this was, it was laughable, hysterical. It has nothing to do with my experience. And how can you editorialize about someone else's life without talking to that person? So it's quite interesting.
So you're really careful when you do all this.
I am very careful.
That's great. And finally, how can people get your book? This is the second edition, so the first one has already been out. Right. But how can they get it? Can we hold that up again?
I'm telling you, like hotcakes it goes.
Really?
This was FedExed to me an hour ago, because I'm all out of the books from the U.S.
Really?
Because that's where my publisher is.
Wow.
So 2 places, Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, and my website, in which you can find out information about the book, reviews, and order the book, and it's cheaper there too, by the way. So it's fatherstouch.com, www.fatherstouch.com.
Great. And you're right here in London?
Yes.
A London author.
Thank you so much.
Great for being here. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you doing your reporting next week.
Thanks for the great questions.
Okay. Well, right after this, we'll find out the importance